No score between Nebraska and Wichita State through 2 here at Bowlin Stadium in beautiful downtown Lincoln, Nebraska. Zach Penrice alongside Kaylin Devin here on BTN Plus. Game 2 of this 3-game series and Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Huskers and the Shockers, as Bailey Lange, the designated player, was scoring to bunt on the opening offering from Olivia Farrell. She pulled back, but probably shouldn't have. It's 0-1. Lange, the pitcher in Game 1, was probably the best player in that first game. She watches the second pitch sail upstairs. It's 1-1.
Absolutely. You said that Bailey Lange was a huge reason why Wichita State's defense was very good and why they kept Nebraska to only 2 runs the entire game.
Only 6 hits, too, and only those 2 runs both in the second inning as this pitch is hit down the left field line and into the Husker bullpen. It's 1-2. Lange, a 5'7" junior from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, hitting 172 this year. Transfer from Northern Iowa. The Panthers, who are in what conference?
The MVC.
Which is where Wichita State used to be up until this season. Transferring over to the American Athletic Conference. Lange stays alive, fouls off another pitch. It'll stay at 1-2.
I know quite a bit about Northern Iowa.
The Panthers.
I do.
You know about them.
Just because. I had a brother that went to school there.
There you go. Oh, really? Okay. That makes sense then that you would be aware.
Of course.
Farrell sets 1-2 again. Swung on back to the pitcher. Farrell did it again. Another catch by Olivia Farrell on the mound. That's the second time she's done that in this game already, and we're only 2 1/3 into it. But she makes another great play at her position on the mound.
Yeah, she's been one of the best defenders for this Nebraska team already, and she's pitching. No, that one, not as difficult of a play to make, but still a great play nonetheless.
Had to leave her feet there in order to catch it as we head back to the top of the order with Mackenzie Wright. 5'6" senior from Midwest City, Oklahoma, as the first offering misses down and inside. Mackenzie Wright, coming into this season, she had started in 162 of 166 games since arriving at Wichita State, as the pitch sails into right field, pretty much straight at Olivia Simmons for the second out of the inning. But Kaylin, that's a very impressive stat to 166 games in your first 3 years with Wichita State, and you played in 162 of them. That's virtually unheard of.
Yeah, that's absolutely phenomenal. Which means that you're obviously a great team player and you know what you're doing and you're good enough to get on the field at all times. So, great job, you know.
Riley Buck will come up now. 1 for 1 today. 1 of 2 hits in this game in the first inning. That one is slapped to the right side, picked up by Burrow pretty easily, flipped to first, and the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Shockers in the top of the third inning. We're through 2.5 at Bowlin Stadium. No score between Wichita State and Nebraska. Stay with us. You're watching BTN Plus. I'm Zach Penrice, and this is Husker Countdown. Ever since Nebraska head coach Mike Riley took over in 2015, the Huskers have lacked the ability to close out games. The Big Red lost 7 games during Riley's first year, all by 10 points or less. In 2016, a similar story. Nebraska's perfect 7-0 record ruined on a late October night, on the road against a foe who has had Nebraska's number ever since the Huskers joined the Big Ten in 2011. Who else but Wisconsin?
Another undefeated has lost today. Nebraska comes to Madison in a thriller in overtime. Wisconsin takes it 23-17.
This season's slow start, tarnished with injuries, turnovers, and fired athletic directors, made it seem like the program was as far away from national relevance as it's been in nearly 20 years. But that ability to close out games that was non-existent in 2015 is the reason that the Huskers have won their last 2 games. That, and first-year defensive coordinator Bob Diaco's defense, whose unit has allowed only 2 touchdowns over the last 14 quarters.
We're a developing defense. We've got a lot of young players playing, a lot of inexperienced players playing, good players, excited about them, but we're just a developing defense that's growing. So I would expect that each coach and each player would just keep getting better week to week, day to day.
Yes, the Black Shirts are getting better every week, but they've struggled against good offenses. Arkansas State and Oregon both rank in the top 30 nationally in total offense, and they each put up 36 points or more on Nebraska. Wisconsin ranks 35th in that category, with one of the most prolific rushing attacks in the country, led by freshman Jonathan Taylor, who's already racked up 518 yards and 7 touchdowns this season. Keeping him at bay will be one of Mike Riley's tallest tasks.
Oh, I think he's really versatile. He's a really good athlete. He's big, powerful, and great balance. You see his first touchdown run the other day?
They're going to keep it on the ground here.
That was pretty impressive.
Crab crawling to the goal line and into the end zone with a Wisconsin touchdown is Jonathan Taylor.
He should have been down, but somehow stayed up, had a hand on the ground, catapulted himself into the end zone. Good play.
A dominating rushing attack is something that Nebraska has seen from Wisconsin on numerous occasions. From Melvin Gordon's 408 yards on the ground in 2014 to the 8 rushing touchdowns in the Big Ten title game in 2013, Wisconsin has embarrassed Nebraska on the ground, proving that just because you know it's coming doesn't mean you can stop it. On the other side, the Huskers' run game is no slouch itself. Since starting tailback Trey Bryant's injury in the loss to Oregon, Nebraska has shifted to a 3-man backfield with Mikhail Wilbon, Devino Zigbo, and Jalen Bradley. And it's that running game that just might be the difference down the stretch. It just might be the way that Mike Riley's team shuts down the Badgers.
The thing that is evident from our history with Wisconsin is you have to be the team that finishes. We had our opportunities a couple years ago here to finish that game and didn't do it, and gave them an opportunity with one more drive to get in position to kick a field goal.
46-yarder into the wind, and he got it through the uprights. Rafael Gaglianone puts Wisconsin in front with 4 seconds to go.
And then we had the ball with a chance to score and win it last year and did not do that.
Incomplete! Stanley Morgan, Dakota Dixon, and the ball hits the turf.
So it's really about finishing the game at a high level, being able to produce and make plays.
Since entering the Big Ten, Wisconsin and Nebraska have played each other 6 times, with the Badgers coming out on top on 5 of those occasions. 3 of the 5 wins for Wisconsin were Big Red embarrassments, favoring Bucky by 30 points or more. But over the last 2 years, the Huskers have gotten closer, losing the last 2 meetings by a combined 8 points. But tonight, things are different. There's always been something about Memorial Stadium at night. 20 consecutive wins under the lights should say plenty about what home field advantage can do here. Well, that lone victory over Wisconsin in 2012 has something in common with tonight, doesn't it? It was in Lincoln, and it was at night.
It's awesome. All the games are unbelievable experience, but the night games are really electric.
According to ESPN, Wisconsin has an 86% chance to beat the Huskers in Lincoln, and over a 70% chance to win the Big Ten West. Maybe they don't know about Nebraska's 20-game home winning streak for night games, and maybe they don't care. But I think I know some who do care. A fan base that has helped the Cornhuskers in situations just like this, where everyone writes them off, where nobody gives them a chance. Husker Nation, 90,000 strong. For Husker Countdown, I'm Zach Penrice. With every new season comes new opportunity for all 347 Division I basketball teams. But before that season can begin for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, one final dress rehearsal is in order as tonight, Big Red welcome the Northwood University Timberwolves into Pinnacle Bank Arena in beautiful Lincoln, Nebraska for an exhibition clash. Good evening to you all, and welcome to this broadcast of Big Ten basketball on BTN+. I'm Zach Penrice, and seated alongside me tonight is Chase Thompson. So glad you could all be with us this evening for the first and final open exhibition for the Nebraska Cornhuskers in Lincoln, as the Huskers and the Timberwolves are ready to take the floor. Take a look at tonight's starting lineups for the Timberwolves. Nick Spitzley, Nate Georgeton, David Jelinek, Brad Schaub, and Zach Allred take the floor in their all-white uniforms. And for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, Evan Taylor, Thomas Allen, Isaac Copeland, James Palmer, and Jordy Shimanga. Well, Chase Thompson, here we go. College basketball back in Lincoln.
Great to be back. Can't wait for the season to go long. We got a long season ending in April.
Jordy Shimanga at mid-floor. Meeting with Zach Allred for the tip. And here we go, we're underway. Shimanga wins the tip. Back it goes to Thomas Allen. Huskers moving left to right. And they're all red uniforms and white letters and numbers tonight. Down low to Jordy Shimanga. Puts up a shot, no good. Rebound goes to Brad Schaub. Upcoming the floor are the Timberwolves now. Being guarded by James Palmer Jr. Now a switch here. Here's David Jelinek. Gives it off to Nick Spitzley. Now on the far side near the Nebraska bench, being guarded by Evan Taylor, is Nate Georgeton. Now to the right side, Brad Schaub working inside, runs into some trouble. Tries to get out of it. Now down low to David Jelinek. Shot up, no good. Isaac Copeland comes down with the rebound. Huskers in transition. James Palmer likes to take it to the rack. He does so, up and good. James Palmer, the junior transfer from the University of Miami, has the Huskers on the board.
What a move by Palmer there. Getting the Euro step and the layup. Awesome start for the season for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Nate Georgeton with the basketball, working down low to David Jelinek, working up against Jordy Shimanga. Big boy down low, a battle in the paint, going up for the shot. It falls over the head of Jordy Shimanga. Nice take right there by David Jelinek for the response for the Timberwolves.
Great play out there by Jelinek, but Jordy needs to get into him a little bit more. Be a little bit more physical, Jordy. You're bigger than him.
Working forward is now Thomas Allen in the corner, down low to Jordy Shimanga. Behind the back pass to James Palmer Jr. Now top of the order, Thomas Allen, three-point shooter, likes it out there and finds the bottom of the nets. Three ball for Thomas Allen, a 48% three-point shooter in high school. Is ready to start his freshman year with the Big Red, but quickly in transition come the Timberwolves. Down low once again to Jelinek. Now a nice dish pass that time, but it finds some Huskers. Now a battle on the floor. Call a jump ball. This will belong to the Timberwolves. Big scuffle down there underneath the Timberwolf basket up in front of the Nebraska bench. 5-2 lead here for Nebraska, following the three-point bomb from Thomas Allen. Nearly 2 minutes gone by here early in this game. So glad you could be with us tonight on BTN Plus. Zach Penrice alongside Chase Thompson. Throwing it in here will be Brad Schaub for the Timberwolves. And we've got a foul call now. It looks like they're going to get Zach Allred with the foul. Tim Miles for Nebraska, the head coach, entering his 6th year at the helm. 358 and 306 record at Nebraska. 12 and 19 a year ago were the Huskers. Finished tied for 12th in the Big Ten Conference. Hoping to make it a little bit better this season. Here comes Evan Taylor up the floor. James Palmer Jr. on the left side. Pick set by Shimanga. Palmer stays with it. Left side now Allen working inside for Shimanga. Backing down David Jelinek. Goes up, puts it up, puts it in. Jordy Shimanga, like you said, Chase, he's bigger than him, backs him down and puts it up for two.
Look for Jordy to keep that up tonight. Nebraska's been living and dying by the three in their exhibition game at Mississippi State earlier. They need to get down on the post more.
David Jelinek down in the post for the Timberwolves at this point in time, guarded by Shimanga. It's been a battle early on here. He goes up, can't get that one to fall. Rebound for Thomas Allen. Quickly coming are the Huskers. James Palmer Jr. in transition will pull it back out and slow things down. Evan Taylor now into the corner. Three ball on the way from Allen. Hits again. Thomas Allen. The hot hand from the young freshman. 2 for 2 from deep.
That's what Miles wants out of Allen. Allen came here to hit threes. Done that 2 for 2 beyond the line so far tonight.
Top of the key for Brad Schaub, trying to work inside, and we got some steps there. Was working against James Palmer Jr. And we've got a substitution here as Trey McBride will step in. Take another look at that. Yep, quick steps, trying to work up against Palmer. He'll come back to the Big Red. Quick 10-2 lead early in this game. Not 3 minutes old is this game. Trey McBride checking in just moments ago for the Timberwolves. Isaac Copeland with the basketball, hands it off to James Palmer Jr. Thomas Allen, the early hot hand, loses it that time, and it's going to go back to the Timberwolves.
Dribble it off his thigh right there. Play that can happen to anyone. Cannot let that get in your head, Thomas Allen.
Nate Georgeton will bring it up here for the Timberwolves. Left side now for Jelinek, trying to work down inside, finds Nate Georgeton. He'll try a three, and he'll hit it right in the face of Thomas Allen. What you can do, I can do better. Nice response that time for the Timberwolves. Top of the key for Copeland, trying to work inside, trying to spinning. He tries a spin move, and the ball falls away, and he'll stay with it and put it up and in. Great body control. Way to stay with it that time from Isaac Copeland, junior transfer from Georgetown.
Way to catch that, getting it knocked away from him and going right back up for the 2 points.
And a push called this time. Evan Taylor called with the foul. A couple of new Huskers onto the floor as well. Doobie Okeke and Jack McVeigh both checking in. Okeke, 6'8" center, transfer from Winthrop, and he's a block machine. And Jack McVeigh, one of the Nebraska three-point threats, checking in for the first time. With the basketball, Kevin Calhoun, who just checked in, finds down low, goes to Brad Schaub, and we've got steps again. Schaub called for traveling, and it's going to go back to Nebraska once again.
Nebraska wanted to spread the floor a little bit more, putting McVeigh in the game. He's a big guy that can spread the floor. Expect Nebraska to start taking a few more threes, even though Thomas Allen's already has 2 in the game.
Bruno Solomon checking in for Brad Schaub. 12-5 lead for Nebraska. 16-15 to go in the opening half. James Palmer will try a three in the corner. That won't go. Rebound for Zach Allred. And the Timberwolves coming back up the floor. Georgetown with the basketball into the corner for McBride. Down low to Solomon. He goes up and a huge rejection, but they're going to count it. Just mentioned Doobie Okeke. Goes up for blocks quite often. Broke the record at Winthrop in blocks. Almost got one that time, but it's called for goaltending, so put 2 on the board for Northwood. 15:59 to go in the opening half. A 12-7 early lead for Nebraska over their Division II foe, Northwood University. Stay with us. You're watching Husker basketball on BTN+.